What if I told you that the biggest obstacle in your life is not the world around you, but something within? Something that controls how you react, how you feel, and even how you see yourself. That force is your ego. But is it your enemy or your greatest tool for success? This video is the first in our special series on ego, where we will explore how ego affects relationships, self esteem, and even your spiritual growth. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episodes. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amratam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste and welcome to day 22 of the ongoing Mahakumbh 2025 Surya Namaskar and Swadhyay series. Today we will explore what ego really is, its positive and negative sides, and how mastering it can lead you to a more fulfilled, mentally strong, and truly confident life. Ego is a word we hear all the time. We say, that person has a big ego, or let go of your ego. But what do we truly understand what it means? Is ego bad? Is it good? More importantly, is it running your life without you even realizing it? Stay tuned because today we are breaking down the mysteries of ego, what it is, its positive and negative sides, and how to ensure it serves you instead of sabotaging you. The ego is often misunderstood. Some say it's arrogance, others think it's self confidence. But in reality, ego is simply your sense of self. It's how you perceive yourself and how you want the world to see you. Ego is not inherently bad, but whether it becomes a force of empowerment or destruction depends entirely on you. There are two types of ego, the positive ego and the negative ego. Understanding the difference between them is key to mastering your personal growth. Positive ego, confidence rooted in self awareness, resilience in the face of challenges, a sense of self worth without needing external validation, the ability to take constructive criticism, leading with humility and a growth mindset. Negative ego, arrogance and superiority complex, taking things personally and reacting defensively. Constant need for validation and approval. Fear of failure and unwillingness to admit mistakes. Seeing others as competition instead of collaborators. A positive ego is essential for survival. Without it, we would lack direction, purpose, and the drive to achieve. Think about historical leaders, athletes, and visionaries. What set them apart was not arrogance, but a deep belief in themselves. Your positive ego helps you take action despite fear, stand up for yourself, and pursue your passions without constantly doubting your worth. So, how do you know if your ego is helping or harming you? Ask yourself these questions. Do you feel confident in your abilities? Or do you constantly seek approval? When criticized, do you reflect or react defensively? Do you celebrate others' success? Or do you feel threatened by it? Are you open to learning? Or do you assume you already know everything? Your answers will reveal whether your ego is working for you or against you. Here is the biggest misconception. Ego and self-esteem are not the same. Self-esteem is internal. It's based on how you truly feel about yourself. Ego, especially the negative ego, often disguises insecurity. A person with healthy self-esteem doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. But a person controlled by their ego constantly needs recognition and validation. Understanding this difference is the first step in breaking free from the negative ego cycle. Now, let's talk about the impact of ego on mental health. A negative ego can create unnecessary stress, anxiety, and even depression. Why? Because it keeps you trapped in a cycle of comparison, perfectionism, and fear of judgment. When your ego is unchecked, you take everything personally, see failure as a threat, and develop a rigid, defensive mindset. This makes growth impossible and creates a constant state of mental exhaustion. So, how do we break free from the grip of a negative ego and develop a healthy, positive one? Here are some steps. Number 1. Practice self-awareness. Regularly check in with yourself. Ask, am I acting out of fear, pride, or insecurity? Number 2. Embrace humility. Accept that you don't have to be right all the time. Growth comes from being open to learning. Detach from validation. Stop seeking approval. Your worth is not determined by likes, awards, or praise. Celebrate others. Shift from competition to collaboration. Someone else's success doesn't take away from yours. Meditate and reflect. Ego thrives on noise. Silence, self reflection, and mindfulness weaken its grip. Your ego is neither your enemy nor your friend. It is simply a tool. If used wisely, it will propel you to greatness. If left unchecked, it will hold you back. So, which one will you feed? The ego that limits you or the ego that empowers you? This brings us to the completion of today's collective sadhana. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear this. And drop a comment below. What's one thing you learned about ego today? Let's start the conversation. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashinduk Bhave Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you.